I often talk about male narcissist, but I don't talk about female narcissist enough. So the first time I met a blatant, overt female narcissist, it's actually one of the most disturbing stories that I had gone through. So much so that I talk about just about everything, but I made a video on this last year around this time and couldn't post it. And it actually shook me so much I didn't actually post for about a month. I met her through a mutual friend. She was incredibly beautiful, tall, about, well, actually not tall, like 5'6", half black, half Asian, really pretty. She looked just like, well, I don't want to go too much into details. Curly hair, and she had the most perfect physique. She was like 100 pounds with, augmentation, and I wasn't physically attracted to her, anything like, it wasn't romantic, but I was at the time like overweight, kind of insecure, and this friend was so vibrant and full of life, and she seemed perfect, right? She was a little bit older than me. She was probably about like 3 to 5 years older than me. No, she was 5 years older than me. And she had her own place. This is when I was like, just out of being a teenager. She had her own place. She had a beautiful apartment, like a beautiful, lavish 2-bedroom apartment in the nicest part of town. She drove her own car. She had all of her bills paid. She had lots of money to go shopping. She had beautiful clothes. So when she basically wanted me to be like her little mentee, her little bestie, her little best friend, I was ecstatic. I had never really had female friends before, and I was kind of new to the city on top of that. So to have this girl that was pouring all of this affection and attention on me, it was a really big deal. So she was an S worker, but I didn't know the extent to what she did. So the way that she described it is that she was a promo model, and back at that time, there was a lot more of that. There were girls that they would pay to go to certain clubs and events and things like that. And basically, it sounded like so much fun. And you could flirt with guys, and drink beer, and, just promote the event, and they pay you, pretty good money. And I'm like, wow, that sounds like so much fun. And she's like, yeah, we can do that. And I'm going to help you get set up in a little apartment too. And, oh yeah, we'll get you a car in like 2 weeks, and you can come stay with me. Like, it seemed like a dream friend. And even with the augmentation, she's like, I'm going to set you up with my doctor, and you're going to be able to have this and that. Like, I was so like, oh, she just seemed like a dream friend to have. She also said that she would do different stuff here and there. Like, she had a couple of sugar daddies and stuff like that, which sounded really fun, the way that she made it sound like it wasn't that big of a deal. But again, she didn't say the full extent. She didn't say that she had a PIMP. She didn't say that she was setting me up to do some really horrific stuff that didn't end up happening because I escaped, because I listened to my intuition. The love bombing. Oh, you're so pretty, you're so cute, you remind me of a little version of myself, and oh, you're going to be able to have this and have that, you're going to look so great with this little car and with these clothes, and I'm going to take you everywhere, the future faking. So if you know about narcissism, it follows those steps, right? Future faking, love bombing, and more. We'll get to that. So she basically was doing all of it, making me feel like I was the answer to her prayers. Like, she's been so lonely in this big city by herself. She was making it sound like she was in this big city and didn't have any friends, and I reminded her of her, and like I was like her little sister, and she wanted me to like we're gonna like take over the world together, us girls, and have so much fun. And I'm like, that's so cool, we're gonna make lots of money, we're gonna do all this stuff. Oh wow, awesome. She ends up slipping me some substances. Okay, but I didn't want to take more. Then she ends up trying to get me to go to this place. I won't go into too many details. Then she leaves. Oh, I'll be there in a few minutes. Just stay here. Stay here for a little bit and I'll meet you. And then I had to fight for my life. Essentially, I had to figure out, like, I had to get out of a really bad situation. I learned a lot from that though. Like a lot, but um I got home safe. But what was sad was, just like when you have to separate from a narcissist, it's the loss of the fantasy. It's the loss of this new friend that you're going to have, or this new person, and you guys are going to take on the world together. And it's going to be so great and so wonderful. And you realize the whole thing was an illusion. And you feel kind of silly, like, oh, I should have known better. And so later on, her and I talked after she realized that I had gotten away from that, and she was very shocked. And of course, she tried to gaslight me. She came up with this big story about, oh my gosh, what did they try to do? And I had no idea, this and that and the other. And it was this whole story. But basically, her and the guy that she claimed was a friend who wasn't just a friend, they dropped me off somewhere so some other people could come and try to pick me up and take me to a whole different place. And I don't want to go into too many details because that's like, I don't know, I really don't like talking about that story. But yes, there are female narcissists. That was one of the first overt ones that I met.